I don't know what's going on. Which I feel like this is the third episode. I'm blurry now. I don't know.
Because of what I said
We're gonna have to restart.
Guys, for the special, we wanted to reveal the surprise now. Sid's a ghost.
That's why I'm so pale.
No, you're a cryptid. There we go. That's on. Sid is a cryptid. I didn't even know.
I know,
We're
crazy.
Good. All right. Oh gosh, I gotta say all the things now. Welcome to As It Is Below, a Brindlewood Bay actual play campaign from Looking for Mom. We did not decide our special shout out beforehand, which is an egregious error on our part, but we're throwing it up to all cryptids. The Mothman, the Missouri Momo, Sasquatch, the Ghost Raven. If you are a cryptid, we support you. Continue being elusive. You don't owe anyone anything.
And if you don't have a local cryptid, be a local cryptid.
Yeah, the job market is open. Get after it. Here on Looking for Mom, we've got a lot of things going on. As per usual, we've got Alien, Humblewood 5e, City of Mist, Pirate Borg, I think, is starting to wrap up. We're starting Mothership. And some of those games even stream, so you are welcome to hop on when the action is live and follow in real time. We also have one podcast that's already going based on the Electric State, run by GM Maya, and another podcast on the way. So subscribe, get those notifications. You can hear about that one when it goes live. Tonight on As It Is Below, we embark on our first Sweeps Week mystery. Try saying Sweeps Week 5 times fast. Sweeps Week mysteries take Brindlewood Bay out of the cozy murder mystery genre and put it into the realm of the supernatural thriller, as if we didn't just come off of a supernatural thriller. Sweeps Week mysteries don't necessarily involve a murder. There are all kinds of questions waiting to be investigated, and they take place outside of the town of Brindlewood Bay. That's right, we're getting out of town. Why are they called Sweeps Week? A little behind the scenes here. Because Brindlewood Bay is a love letter to classic American television, the phrase Sweeps Week is connected to that. This is right out of the book. In the 80s and 90s, in order to maximize viewership during the 4 annual periods when advertising rates were set, called Sweeps Weeks, television networks would engage in stunt programming. That's what we're doing to you all. We're stunt programming tonight. Special gimmicky episodes of established TV shows were aired in order to lure back lapsed viewers, or to draw in new viewers with the promise of a weird plotline or celebrity guest star. Sweeps Week's mysteries are outside the normal gameplay and narrative structure of Brindlewood Bay, and they are, in a sense, stunt episodes, hence the name. If you were a fan of, like, Sweet Life, of That's So Raven, Hannah, like, those Disney crossovers, that's kind of what this is a little bit. I can't remember the full name of it.
That's so sweet.
That's so sweet. Life of Hannah.
Thank you. I knew someone would.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes. Tonight's Sweeps Week mystery, oh my goodness, is Squatch Your Step. In it, the Mavens head into the woods of the Empire State to participate in a local custom, and potentially, by the end of this, finally answer the question, is Bigfoot real? We have our opinions, clearly. Squatch Your Step was written by Michael Van Vliet. Michael has written a number of Brindlewood Bay mysteries. One of our other favorites is Goodbye, Cruel World. You can learn more about the things that Michael has written and published at the link below. I'll link his sort of like publishing page here. And then, before we recap the crazy events of last episode, episode 10, let's meet our meddlesome Mavens. Who's gonna go first?
All right. Hey there. I'm Megan. Pronouns she, her. And I'll be playing Violet today, also she, her. And Violet is currently dissociating from real life, hoping to finally actually see a cryptid that she's looking for, unlike all of her efforts in Brindlewood Bay.
Hi, I'm Vasni, she, her, Marina, playing Marina, also she, her. And now she has absolutely equipped herself with heavy-duty crystals and just does not want to let her friends out of her sight without being thoroughly saged, and is also suddenly really itching to play baseball.
Love it. Hello, my name is Angeli. I go by she, her. My character's name is Tea de la Rosa. Also she, her, who's a slightly shaken granny, who has been so strong and so brave because she's resisted backflipping out of her hospital bed twice now. She's thinking twice about things.
Twice is a low number.
True.
Incredible. My name is Sydney. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing all of the other people at all the other times of various pronouns and thoughts and feelings about current events. Last time on As It Is Below, the Mavens' night at Ocean View Grocery came to an explosive end, I would say. Literally, the whole grocery store blew up. After a night of creepy wood watchers, secret shooters, and conspiracy theories unraveling. At the end of it all, Harry Flagg, our drunken bathroom napper, was pinned for his involvement in planning and failing to execute a casing of this place to find a treasure, a bank robbery stash that his relative had left before their arrest. Rumors swirl that store owner Mr. McGee was also involved, but given that all the evidence literally went up in flames, for now he walks as a free man. And he's probably walking his little tuchus all the way down to Florida. The Mavens, understandably, are a bit rattled between Violet's heartbreaking memories in the woods, Marina's disturbing find connecting this now smoldering site to a historically missing child, and the death of store clerk Isaac in a shot that was maybe intended for Taya. The air in Brindlewood Bay hangs heavy with what ifs and why me's. As we come down to Brindlewood Bay, a couple of opening credit scenes pass us by. Mariah Prescott does PR cleanup around her now destroyed plot of land. We see the Mavens going in for more questioning with Sheriff Dalrymple, him taking the chance for each of them individually to urge them to take a little mental health break, to take some time away from the bay and get out of his thinning hair, to seriously consider their further escapades into escalating dangerous encounters. But first, we need to have a funeral. It is one of those sort of classic early fall television funerals. Leaves haven't turned yet, but they still leap from tree branches in growing winds. The sun will make it hotter today than it likely needs to be, but here this morning, at the plot to the west of the historic Brindlewood Bay Congregational Church, townsfolk new and old gather for yet another funeral in their sleepy town. First, Mark Harrison, then Charles Rogers. Yesterday, Jackson Fairbanks. Today, Isaac Torrance. Isaac's ceremony has just ended, and those who can give their condolences to his parents, who for the first time in a few years have managed to stand in the same room and then at the same place next to one another, as grief brings them shakily together once more post-divorce. Violet, what about this funeral seems out of place for a funeral, but fitting for Isaac?
Sorry, I was looking back at our notes, and the only note we have about Isaac is dead AF. So, let's see. What was fitting for Isaac? I think maybe he was pretty nerdy, right?
Yeah, I would say Isaac's general demeanor is he has his interests. He was also incredibly sassy. He sassed you guys, he sassed Mr. McGee. He certified twink. And he would say it.
Yeah.
nerdy. I think, yeah, pop culture was probably his main area of interest.
Pop culture. I think this is so dumb, but since the biggest thing that stood out with him was just the sass, I think there's like I don't know what to call it, but like a line of sass. So basically, like as you're going up, like for like the viewing and everything, like you're supposed to like sass the person behind you, and they're supposed to like turn around and sass the person behind them before you get all the way up there. And nobody's really sure how it started, but like everybody's keeping it going.
Oh, I know how it started.
Oh, okay.
Isaac's friends, rival, enemies, exes. I think there was some natural sassing happening, and then it became this sort of like, well, Isaac would want us to roast one another because
Yes.
he would be roasting everyone if he were here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, and some people take to it more than others, right? So like there's some like Big Steve doesn't entirely get like what he's supposed to be doing. Officer Brett definitely just compliments someone straight out. Brad and Petra nail it, of course. Carolyn's outright mean, but that's kind of her thing. So
I don't think she knows what's happening. I think she was just mean to be mean, and it happened to like kind of fit the vibe in the moment.
yeah, exactly. And you have the first tick on the Crown of the Void. So here at this funeral, Violet, what dark entities subtly reveal themselves to you?
Ooh. Dark entities. I think she sees just out of the corner of her eye, like it's not enough to say anything to anybody, but I think she, as she like turns away, I think she sees like a group of shadowy dark entities around the coffin, but all of them have like she can't make anything out, but she would swear that they all have a white mask that maybe looks like the one she recently saw in the woods.
Yeah, like out of the corner of your eye, as someone's like, giving their condolences and turning, you like feel like you almost see someone with a mask on, but and then as they turn to like leave the line, there's nothing there because everyone's wearing funeral black. So is it really there? Is it your mind replaying an unsettling vision from the woods a few weeks ago? Who's to say?
Yeah.
Behind you in line is Marina. Marina, what about this funeral feels achingly familiar?
I don't think that she has been to a funeral maybe since her husband's, and maybe something about this one, maybe about like the lightheartedness of people roasting each other, and how her husband's everyone was kind of like remembering him in life and doing all the silly things that he liked to do. And although it's nice to see some lightheartedness, it breaks her heart a little bit extra because it reminds her of a really impactful funeral.
Yeah. I feel like just like Ryan, his whole family is sort of that like, like I love you, but I'm gonna argue with you, sort of like Irish, Scottish, classic big family vibe. So all of the loudness and ingestness to sort of make something usable out of all of this unspeakable grief. And in the same way, these teens roasting older adults, the boomers and the Gen Z, Gen X here, trying their best to do it, not really understanding, a reflection of that. You also have the first crown of the void ticked here. So, but I would like to save yours for a little trip we might be taking later, and let you clue it in there, since we've got Violet on it already. You guys, these roasts are broken up by, a sob from Isaac's mom, or his dad gruffly just sort of saying thanks to people who are giving condolences, and the line continues to move forward. I think that behind Marina here is Taya. Living slow life, Taya, is something that hasn't really ever been something you've wanted to do. The slow line, all of these people here. I'm going to leave it up to you how to answer this, or if you want to take it in the opposite way. What about the procedure of this makes you want to be somewhere else?
Ooh.
And where is that place?
Oh gosh. I think in the moment Taya is like taking everything in, and everything is like moving in a weird slow motion. It's like way too slow. And something inside of her wants to like run and leave. And I guess the place that she would go to is just anywhere but there. Like just take her motorcycle and drive as far away from Brindlewood Bay as she could, until like she runs out of gas or she's just stopped, just anywhere but there. But like I think she just takes in the fact that it's so slow, it's too slow. She's being forced to like really reckon with the things that has happened, and it sort of reminds her achingly of all the funerals that she missed before.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably no one else who needs to be here more besides Isaac's family than you, right? The person he was holding on to when that sound rang out. There were probably other people who would have wanted you to be there at other funerals, but there's a past you can't change.
Mm-hmm.
The line continues to move forward. Because I already mentioned him, we'll just put Big Steve in front of you all. And he greets Isaac's parents and does the quintessential "I'm so sorry for your loss," and Isaac was a good kid. Don't worry, I'll waive his overdue fees. Even though Isaac probably wasn't a big reader. And takes his moment at the casket before stepping away. And then it's the three of you. You can tell that Isaac takes more after his father. The same shock of red hair, the same splattering of freckles, the same paleness. I think the only thing you see of mom in him is the way that his nose points, the thinness of it here. Neither one of them look like they've gotten any sleep, but then again, I don't think really any of you have gotten much sleep either. And in the last couple of weeks, you've passed each other in sheriff office halls and on the street, but this is your real first chance to have a moment with them. What does that look like?
I think Violet going first is gonna say something like, I know you've already heard all the words, but I'm so sorry for your loss. And she's gonna pull out a little jar of tea, and she's gonna kind of hesitate because now she realizes that maybe she should have made 2 of them, but she sort of like she already pulled it out, so she goes ahead and like just holds it out in front of her and is just like, this is a tea I made myself. It's with herbs from a friend's garden, and it just, nothing. I'm not saying it can fix this or anything, but it's just, it just sometimes it helps when, your heart is hurting like it is right now. And she just is standing there awkwardly with this little jar of tea, holding it out to them.
Yeah. I think Isaac's mom hasn't quite gotten herself together from the gaggle of 19 and 20-year-olds that came before Big Steve, people who knew Isaac on a friend level. So as she sort of sniffles and stuff, Isaac's father, help. Thank you. I'm sure it'll provide, it's nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's a little like out here on the cemetery next to the church. They've brought out, you guys sat in the most uncomfortable chairs, and they've got like the fake turf next to the burial, even though the real grass is still there, just to even out the ground a little bit in this historic graveyard. Hundreds of years of ceremony has happened here, and there's it almost seems at odd with like the IKEA sort of small table they've placed out here for them to set things down on. He sets it to the side next to it. There's some the programs and cups of water for each of them, and other things that they've been given, Polaroids and envelopes and cards. Absolutely. Anything from Marina or Taya?
I think Taya would be hanging back next to Marina, probably like almost leaning on her for support while she's like holding her arm in that sling. And I think she's just like trying to find any sort of words or semblance to tell these people, but she's, again, it's been a really long time since she's been to any funeral. So she feels completely out of place, and it keeps like looking back at the exit, like any exit out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marina would definitely want to be like trying to make sure her friends are okay, like trying to see if like Taya needs anything, like any of like finger foods, or just making sure that like everyone is hydrated or something, but and also trying to keep her doing that and keep herself busy as to not sit too much in the moment and recall better Ryan's funeral and like spiral down that. So just like keeping her mind and her hands busy.
Plenty of opportunity to spiral. I mean, between the things that remind you of Ryan and the what ifs on, if there was any other angle, it could be a very close friend there and not Isaac instead. And as I think maybe the scene with Violet, and Violet, you being in the front of this, sort of step to the side towards the casket, the two of you are almost exposed in a way. Taya looking back, Marina, like passing off a crystal in front of Isaac's parents here. And they know who you three are. They know you were there. They especially know how precarious the end was. They know that Violet, you attempted to cover up the body. They thanked you for that. Taya, they know that you were there when it happened. They haven't passed any sort of blame on any of you. But there's grief in seeing you all, as the reminder of it is fresher when the involved are right in front of them. I thank you for coming. It means a lot.
I'm sorry I couldn't do more.
No, this is This is plenty. This is plenty. We appreciate it, and he sort of gestures to his ex-wife, and just the time ticking out. I know that you're still healing. I hope that it heals quickly.
Thank you. I normally avoid these sort of things, but
Me too.
this just seems way more important than anything.
Yeah. As you say, this seems way more important. I think maybe the two of you, and Violet, if you're casting a glance over to the side, can sort of see how Isaac's mom just seems to linger on Taya's shoulder. And as she sniffles, she still hasn't said anything. But the wheels do be turning, right? She's actively thinking. As Isaac's father goes, well, I hope that you all, go out and do something comfortable. And if your clothes are as itchy as mine are, you put on something more comfortable. Sorry, I work in IT. I'm not used to talking to this many people ever. But we again thank you. And yeah.
I think that while Marina wishes that she could say something, she feels like so sunken in guilt that even a part of her is thankful that it wasn't Taya, and thinks that therefore that means that she's glad it was him. She can't even like look at the parents in the eye. So she's just kind of like nodding in like every time someone says like my condolences or something, but can't say it herself because she just feels torn.
That feels like a condition to me.
I thought that would be wrecked.
Okay, I'll keep that. Yeah, that can be wrecked. You are properly wrecked. Yeah. Funny the way that grief likes to steal letters from guilt that way. I think sensing the uncomfortableness and Isaac's father sort of realizing his wife is done sniffling but not saying anything, looks to her and looks to all of you, and then just sort of motions you on to fully join Violet at the casket. And Isaac would probably be upset at the way that he looks. But they did a good enough job. And all the right things are covered the way that they should be. And a number of his friends have put things in the casket, of course. And it's probably, I mean, from not only the night that you all saw him, but all of the late nights before, this is probably the most peaceful you've seen Isaac's facial features look ever. But that's probably because of the Botox and things that they put in at the end. You guys do anything here before leaving?
I think Violet will say what probably most people say at most funerals that are open casket, and she'll just make the comment of, yeah, they did a really good job, and like all the things that she feels that she's supposed to say in that moment. But really, like, she just kind of quietly, after she says that, and like I'm assuming nobody else is saying anything, she just starts very, very quietly, just tears start running down her face as she just like kind of looks back to the others.
Yeah.
I think Taya's just going to be looking down at the casket and just like frozen just thinking as her mind is going and like probably whispering under her breath, like, that should have been me. I should have been in that casket.
The two of you can hear that. You guys are all right next to each other.
The only person whose fault it is the person who is behind the gun. You didn't do this. You're not alive and he's dead. It's just his luck was worse that day. You're not responsible.
You can't keep saying that. You can't keep blaming yourself for not doing enough.
He wouldn't even be in this situation if I hadn't wanted to go into the back anyway.
Yeah, but you can't know. Like,
And I don't know. I should have been looking out more. He was hanging on to me, and I don't know. I could have pushed him out of the way, or something.
Taya,
No.
I love you. You're 68. Like, as much as you can do backflips, you, at least unless you've got secrets I don't know about, like, you can't see the future. You couldn't know to move you guys. Like,
He just looks so peaceful now.
yeah.
And that, I think the line continues to move, and suddenly it is much too crowded up here at the casket of Isaac Torrance. And society dictates it's time for you all to step away as new grievers come forward. As you guys move, and we're gonna switch scenes here soon. You've been to the other funerals, I would imagine. The Mark Harrison. Maybe not Ace Rogers. You didn't really know that guy, but you could have if you wanted to. Jackson's only yesterday, right? You can still see the fresh dirt, about 10 plots to the west and another 14 or so south here where he's buried. This town, however sleepy it has been for the last, couple decades, something must have awoken, because there is a darkness sitting in this place, 4 funerals and, the same odd amount of months. How many more? How many more? The wind kicks up and dirt and leaves and detritus swirl around as if like one final inconvenience Isaac can pass on to all of the people who had nothing better to do than to come stare at him in a box. He would have said something like he never knew he was this popular, and probably Venmo request cash from everyone for his time. The crowds break up soon after, and people eventually, the church needs the chairs back, and teardown begins. But I don't know how long you guys stay after being moved from the casket.
I think with the frame of mind that Taya's in, I think Violet will probably try to kind of get everybody to head out after, appropriately paying their respects.
Yeah. It's, this is like a television show, so I think after you guys sort of step away and this wind kicking up, at first slightly cold fall rain hits all at once. It must have rolled in from the bay itself. And pamphlets and things are going above heads. Patrons are concerned about their rental clothes or their nice wear that might become waterlogged here, and heels are sinking into dirt as everyone's phones start to ping about a flash flood warning, and people are, setup is really going now as you guys get out of here. And I think it's within some of the puddles you traipse through as you're heading to whichever vehicle you all carpooled with, the Taya specifically. One of these puddles, you feel the weight, not only of the rain, but just of something is holding you just for a moment. Is it guilt? Is it a ghostly tentacle trying to grasp at an ankle of someone who is feeling something they can't stop thinking about? But it takes a moment for you to sort of lift that foot back up. Just a little bit longer than normal. Whether or not you want slow life, something is trying to slow you down. And our scene fades. Everyone take a breath. You did so good. I hit it out in my shirt immediately. Yeah, we find you all now a couple days later in, it sounds like Violet's SUV, and it's towing a small, modest camper that you all borrowed from Big Steve here. On your way up to upstate New York, not only was Sheriff Dalrymple suggesting a break, the weight of the last couple weeks also demands it of you, I think, just for your own sanity. And then, of course, there's the fact that you have a reason to go all the way out to Whitechapel. You guys are driving along these backcountry 2-lane highways. Which one of you was invited to be a judge at this year's Bigfoot Days?
Who would it be?
I mean, Violet already has a preferred cryptid, so I feel like...
I mean, Marina's loves to volunteer. Maybe she volunteered at something like adjacent to this, and
got pulled in.
Got pulled in, and was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Would not be Taya at all.
Yeah. So Marina.
All right.
All right, Marina, you volunteered for something and then got tapped. Or like, hey, our judge got food poisoning. We just need another person out here, and there are no qualifications. You got a call from. You would then know. Oh, what's his name? Brian Wukalar. Brian. Brian and Ryan maybe, played on a sports team in like middle school together, or, they did something, they knew each other. So Brian knows you by proxy and has called you up after decades at least, or maybe last time he saw you was Ryan's funeral. I don't know how close you want them to be.
Yeah.
Brian has called you up. You don't need to have any qualifications. You just have to judge a yell and get to know people and wear a badge.
Okay, so no qualifications. I've got to say, it doesn't get less qualified than me. I mean, I don't. Where can I look at what a good yell would be? I mean, I want to know.
Oh, YouTube. We record the contest every year, so you can look up, and you're probably going to see some of the same faces. But it's just a quality Bigfoot cry is something you're never going to forget. So.
Okay.
Watch the videos. I'll email them to you, and I'll send you a couple of forums to read through, so you can be sort of prepared on at least a little bit of Sasquatch knowledge. And we'll see you out here. Maybe this phone call happened a week ago. We'll see you out here next week. You don't have to pay for your camping site. We'll take that. You need to bring something to camp in, of course. I can't give you that, but you don't have to pay for your site, and all of your food is comped.
All right, sounds like a good deal, and I'll judge with my heart, and I'll be honest.
All right, that's all we ask of you. It'll be good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
So that phone call happened a week ago, and now you guys are out on the road heading to Whitechapel, New York to BIGFOOT Days. Song on the radio, SUV driving around. How is this little SUV? Definitely Violet's SUV.
I immediately thought like one of the little like chain things is a ghost raven.
Cute.
She has a bumper sticker that says honk if you've seen the ghost, the Brindlewood Bay ghost raven. And there are definitely like, they're supposed to be like hidden, but like there's bird stickers all over the car. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I love it. I was gonna say Taya probably brings like little stickers to stick inside of Violet's car every so often, just like hiding them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Taya got like a bulk pack of stickers off of AliExpress 7 years ago, and it's just been working.
Yep.
Every way through.
Every time she finds one, she has like at this point it's probably dried out and she needs a new one, but she has a glitter glue pen that she outlines the stickers when she finds them. But like it's been in the car on the dash for a little too long, so like she needs a new one.
Love it.
I think probably also like just like crystals placed like in between seat cushions just for general car safety. Make sure every seat is protected.
Yes.
Cute.
And I feel like at this point Marina's probably like ridden in her car enough that like every seat is probably double protected at this point.
I forgot that there is one, or like feels and doesn't find it but like felt in the wrong side. It's like, well, now I have to.
Yep.
Shifted.
It is the safest SUV. There's also, it's covered in mud.
Yep.
Like it's got like, you know, like the really bulky tires that are like good for mud and stuff. Cause you know, like you gotta get back in the woods to see the good birds, and like her knees aren't as good anymore. So like it's better to hike in, but sometimes you just have to suck it up and, you know, drive in.
Wonderful. You guys have been on the road for a bit. You know that you're set to arrive tonight, and then you've got BIGFOOT Days all weekend. Judging contests, people camp out the whole weekend, mostly to avoid having to find a place to stay at any of the neighboring towns and then drive in every day. And of course, if you want, those of you who are coming alongside Marina, of course, can't compete herself, but the Bigfoot Yell competition does happen every year. But you guys aren't there yet. You know kind of what's on the agenda, at least a weekend away from all of that heaviness in the bay. And for each mile you get outside of Massachusetts, the vibe increases. You start to feel better, as if you were just leaving part of that darkness behind. So I think now is as good a time as any, as the tunes roll through and you get windows down and stuff, to do a little cozy move.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cozy. I think at this point, oh, you know what? I think they've been driving for a while, and I think we probably have to, you know, maybe a little middle of nowhere spot and some trees. Violet spots like on a nice big pull off, because you know this is a giant camper. Like you really have to make sure you have room to maneuver. I think Violet pulls off and there's a little stream there. So she's like, "Oh, Marina, I wonder. I mean, I don't know how many like crystals you find yourself, but can't you find them in some streams? Like we should see." And Violet is driving with her binoculars around her neck. You never know when you're gonna have a bird emergency. And she's like, "Yeah, we could, maybe keep an eye out for some cool birds. I have a whole list for this region that I need to check off. And I have my bird app on my phone so I can, we can identify some of the songs that I don't know. But do you guys wanna stretch some leggies?"
Oh, you need no like convincing for me. Like, and then just like immediately takes off her shoes and like rolls up her
Yeah.
pants like her knees.
Marina's out of the car.
Yeah, she like rolled out of the car.
Yeah.
Taya was like, "Oh, go ahead."
She said like, yeah.
I was just gonna say Taya was probably like the whole car ride was like head out, arm out, like fully taking in the wind. And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to kick my shoes off. Let's go."
Is this something that Taya does a lot?
Yeah, she loves the wind in her face.
So I think whether or not she's wearing it at the moment, I think once Violet learned how to crochet, I think she crocheted her like a dog ear hat, so that when she puts her head out the window, she can have her ears flap in the breeze.
I love it. Yeah, Taya would absolutely do that.
So good. She doesn't want you to get a cold from sticking your head out in the cold breeze.
I guess I look kind of cute in this thing. You think, Marina?
So cute. And then just like ties it like on
Yeah.
like the bottom so that it doesn't fly off when her ears are flapping.
Thanks, Violet.
Absolutely. I gotta keep your head warm. There's a lot of thoughts in that noggin.
Too many thoughts, but we can get away from him this weekend, right?
Yeah, I think if you turn your head sideways, the wind will go through the ears and just get rid of all the thoughts.
Oh yeah. Here, let me. And she like turns upside down.
While Taya, you are upside down, getting the wind through your ears, and you'll probably have time to move, but not before probably the first one sees you, as the sound of many small engines comes over the hill towards where you guys have pulled off, as the members of some sort of group of motorcycle riders start whizzing past.
Would I know these guys? Or is it like outside Brindlewood Bay?
Let's do a day move with reason to see if you can see enough to identify this particular group.
Okay. Reason. First roll. Okay. That would be a 5.
Oh no. Not only, I think, because we didn't talk about what you might fear when I asked this, but we're not really into the thing yet. Not only can you not tell because you're looking sort of upside down, right? You're still sort of swiveling back up from the way you had been oriented. Their engines are loud. Your ears are hurting a little bit as they sort of whiz through. And I think you get the feeling that you've been seen. Like they saw you contorted in this weird way, head upside down. But at least the first couple of them have. About 9 or 10 of them come through in engines and vests and various hair arrangements. And just as quickly as they came over the crest here, they're around the next bend, and eventually their engines fade. Since this is a cozy move, you guys can clear a condition or uncheck an item in your cozy little place.
Nice.
Let's round robin here. What are we doing?
I already deleted it. The Dalrymple one.
Yeah, makes sense.
So many mysteries.
You and Dalrymple, even though he did not like still the flagrant disrespect and name calling that you continued for him, he seemed a little bit more human, and his concern was genuine for you, not only in your conversation that night before Isaac's death, but in the following meetups about statements and whatnot.
Yeah, and I think it really like settled into Taya. Like, maybe I should lay off on this guy.
It's just the Artemis for me.
So
I was gonna say, guys, I brought a cryptid to share if you didn't bring your own.
mine's in my couch.
All right, let's go across our sheet here. Marina.
I took off wrecked. I think like the vacation is gonna do like us wonders, and I think her mind is definitely gonna be on doing her best at judging this event. And it's just good to see her friends in like good spaces, also having fun, seeing Taya also start to maybe attempt to do flips again. It really consoles her. So yeah, I think she's coming down from that, feeling better.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And how about Violet?
Violet is clearing double wrecked. I think having some space and having some closure from them going to the funeral, and then being able to get out of town, get some fresh air. She's already mentally like, can I participate in the Yeti yell? But like, she hasn't said anything, so she's just maybe I can.
Violet, I'll do it if you do it.
Oh, then we're doing it for
All
sure.
right.
Like while the music was playing in the car as they were going, there were some points where it was turned up louder, and Violet was secretly like, okay, like practicing to herself quietly, just to think about like getting the mindset.
I think Marina would be like, I can't be biased, and it's gonna be really, really hard.
You gotta plug your ears, Marina. You can't listen to us while we practice.
It's gonna be too good. I have to be surprised.
Violet cranks up the insert music that can play on this channel here, like really, really loud.
You got 10 seconds of it.
Yeah. And it's just like, see, you can't hear anything.
Taya's gonna like fully like half out the window, start yelling.
Yeah, Marina's just gonna probably like try to like sing along to, I don't know, like Living on a Prayer. Just like, like that's the yelling that they're doing. They're just singing along.
Hey, you won't be able to hear us yell. Violet all of a sudden turns it down silently to Taya screaming in the background. And she goes, wait a minute, but like, if you yell with us, you won't know what our yells sound like, and you would still be impartial.
That's an excellent point. Plus, if I know how to yell, then I'll be better like equipped. I'll be better qualified to judge a yell.
Yes, you really get the feel of like how much effort like is going in. Like, yeah.
Well done. You're totally right.
You just gotta copy that YouTube video we watched before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add some
that was the
flair.
best.
I can't believe we didn't find out about this sooner. Like, we should have been doing this every year.
I know. I don't know how Brian never told me that this is something that he did. I mean, I never knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like a vague idea of it, but I didn't know it was this cool after like watching all of the tube videos and the.
Yes. Well, and I'm really bummed because I tried to send a message to Lark to see if she would want to come join us, but I think she's somewhere on like some expedition in like Mexico right now in the jungle, and like I I tried to send her a message and she's supposed to have like a satellite phone, but like it seems like the service is sketchy. So I sent her a letter. So maybe like in a couple months we'll get a visit and we can tell her about it.
Yeah. Oh, I
that's
hope she's
great.
enjoying the jungles. They're beautiful there.
I hope so. I can't wait. We haven't seen her in a while, but I'm sure, hear from her soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The mail's just slow sometimes there too. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and I put on the envelope Lark, Faulkner, and then the Jungle, Mexico. So I'm like pretty sure it'll get to her, right? I
Yeah.
put a lot of stamps on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many stamps did you put on
I
it?
put like a lot of stamps on it.
Did you put one
a
of like
lot of
those crystal stamps on there? The one with the crystal on it?
Yes. Yes, because I figured that would be good luck. And I also put some bird stamps on it so it would seem like it was lighter because there might have been a number of pages in it and pictures.
Yeah, without a doubt then, for sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I think as that sort of conversation fades, the scene fades as well. And this montage of your pit stop before you arrive at Whitechapel this evening. You guys pull in and you chat with, someone who's just got a lawn chair out there at the turnoff for the campgrounds, and they radio and direct you to your camping spot. And I think we have like a flash forward montage of you guys parking and like getting the camper ready and all of that. There are a number of things around, and I'm going to describe them and then we're going to go on break. There are a number of things around. There is a food truck with a special Bigfoot Days menu. There is a whole scattering of like preteens running around reenacting something. It's hard to tell what it is in the fading sunlight, but they seem to be really, really into it in a theater kid sort of way. Down closer to sort of the main stage, you hear the echoing rim shots of a local high school's drum line putting on a performance, even though it's still kind of early within the year, so not everything's aligned in their technique yet. And with the reverberation of the trees, it gets even more distorted to where when it finally hits you, it just is a wall of sound of snare and tenor and bass drum sound just sort of ambling through the trees. It smells of pine tree and dirt, crisp air, and overcooked meat here as different folks either do their own campfire at one of the approved fire spots or dare to get something from the food truck. And families, enthusiasts, like amateur cryptozoologists, everyone is arriving tonight. You see old friends greet one another. You see rivals sort of stare each other down on all manner of glamp, camp, backpack, outback setups roll in. We'll have a chance to throughout this, see how you guys do with your camper. But I think for now, we're going to take a break and come back into the official start of Bigfoot Days tomorrow morning. Sunlight breaks through your camper here in the morning, the first official day of Bigfoot Days. And already people are out and milling. It's sounded like throughout the night, maybe some people just didn't even sleep between their excited reconnections or telling tales around a campfire. How much sleep did each of you get?
I don't think Violet got a ton of sleep, but she's so excited she's gonna over caffeinate to compensate for it, because I think at one point in the middle of the night she like snuck out of the camper to go listen to Nightbirds because she's in a new place and she's got to listen to all of them and see if she can find them.
No.
I think Marina slept pretty well. I think she sleeps well with company. And also it's like whenever you watch a TV show so much, you start dreaming in that TV show. She has now started dreaming in like Bigfoot and just like people yelling, and all of her dream is consumed by Bigfoot. So not something eerie, well, kind of, but not in like the creepiest way. So
Like in a camp way.
In a camp.
Nothing scarring you for life.
Nothing scarring me. No like watches appearing in the real life after the dream.
A welcome change.
Oh well, yeah, for sure.
I think Taya also got a lot of sleep, especially being like away from everything now and like feeling a little freer than she did, but also because she had gotten into the swing of like, because she had been staying with Marina since getting out of the hospital, and like just that like company, that comfort has become very familiar to her, and she's been sleeping better, I think.
Gotcha. Your garden's probably full of weeds though.
Yeah, well.
Oh man.
Marina tries to go and check up on them. She doesn't have the greenest thumb, but she does her best to keep them alive.
Taya's like texting very slowly instructions, like. I love it.
Well, I'm glad you guys got some varying levels of sleep and caffeine, because there is a rap at your little camper door in the morning.
I think Marina will go like kind of like foggy eyed because she was able to sleep in. I'm like, who? It's so early.
Marina, be careful, okay?
I'll be careful. I'm sure. And then just goes and peeks to see who it is before opening.
Yeah. You see the like balding gray ash head of Brian through the little camper like half frosted window situation.
Is it Bigfoot?
No, it's just Brian. And then
Brian,
y'all,
are you Bigfoot?
oh, it's not Bigfoot.
How can
Do you
you be
open-
sure?
Yeah, open the door.
He doesn't come in, but he does. Good morning. Glad to see you got here all in one piece. They told me that you all had rolled in. We've got a lot to do today, and I wanted to make sure that I came and got you ready for it, and then of course to meet your friends. I know you told me their names over the phone. I just can't remember. Hi.
I'll like swoop him into a hug and be like, it's so good to see you. And I'm just like remembering like all the other times that I've seen him, just like, oh. Yes, let me introduce you. How rude. Well, this is Taya, and this is Violet. And this, of course, is Brian. The reason we're here.
Hi, I'm Brian Lucalar. It's wonderful to have you all here for BIGFOOT Days. I know that we're gonna keep Marina a little tied up, but you both feel free to hang around, enjoy the festival, learn a bit about our beloved Bigfoot, and of course participate in anything that you want to do. I can't comp all of your meals like I can Marina's, but we'll see what discounts I can get on the back end. And Brian is he's got like whiter hair that is close cropped, and a denim shirt tucked over his sort of pot belly that he's put on probably in the last decade or so, I would say, of his life. Contemporary with all of you, so he is still moving and kicking, but he's no spring chicken. Hiking boots with deep treads, and he's got a clipboard, and he's got a name tag that says Mr. Brian on it. And with his clipboard and his pen that's chained on there. Clipboard looks worse for wear. It's covered in stickers on the back. And the indication here is that Brian's been doing this for a bit. The fact that you can have a name tag that just says Mr. and then your first name indicates that you are pretty well known. Yes, in a little bit, not now, take your time, probably, after about an hour. Ooh, I was going to say an hour and a half, an hour. If we could have you, Marina, stop by the main tent, we'll have you meet your other judge. And then we're getting through sort of the divisions of Bigfoot yells. So we're going to start with the early risers, which is our senior community. And then pivot to the kids, because by that point they've had breakfast and are awake. And then we'll sort of work our way back up from there until we sort of cross the same ranges again. And then throughout the day, any of you who would like to, there's a sort of a information tent. Feel free to stop by, get pamphlets on the different trails, the different groups that are going out, anything that's sponsored. If you can't find me, Edna, or Langley, they're wearing name tags just like this. They'll be able to get you connected with what you need. And of course, we were stocked up on first aid and water and stuff like that.
Cool.
Great.
Well, wonderful. And at that point, his sort of walkie goes off, and you guys hear Edna go, Mr. Brian, we've got a situation with the porta potties. If you wouldn't mind heading over this way. Brian goes, oh, well, I've got some shit to take care of, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna, unfortunately. You all have a lovely morning, and Marina will see you at the main tent here in a bit.
I'll be there.
Wonderful. And he will sort of close the camper door and leave you all be.
Well, he seems really cool, Marina.
Yeah, he's really cool. I know him from a while back. He was an old childhood friend of Ryan's, and I mean, I haven't seen him in a few years, but it's so good to see him.
Aw, you guys will have to chat later, swap some memories. Remember some good times around a campfire.
Yeah, kind of like.
Also, it's weird that did this camper come with a dog, or we just wander in when
Added bonus.
Brian opened the door
in the trunk. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, well, you guys ready to go check stuff out, find some breakfast?
Yeah, I mean, well, Marina, before they whisk you away, I didn't get a chance to thank you for fixing me up, and I gesture to my bandages and the sling. You did a great job.
Oh, there's nothing to thank me for. I mean, of course
I could die.
Just like at the end of like, okay, I'm gonna go grab my stuff.
Wait, I'm just kidding. A hot nurse, ex-nurse, fixed me up, so I'm all good. I'm good. Yeah. And sorry for acting so weird during the funeral too. I'm not used to all that. Anyway, thank you. And I'm gonna grab Marina's hand and then lean forward and give you a kiss on the cheek. And then a light wink and then walk out.
And I was gonna go like cup her cheek and be like, always.
Violet, let's go.
Marina's gonna just grab her.
I'm already ahead of you. Violet's out the door, trying to get all the laces on her hiking boots that are way overkill for this.
Taya's got her docks, and she just stuffed the laces in. And she walks.
That's right, because it's gonna be hard to lace it up when you've got an arm and a sling.
Yeah.
I think Marina would have a bag full of printed out stuff that she's researched. And maybe screenshots of the YouTube pages of and with a huge thing of comments. of course, like prints of like the emails that Brian has sent to her with links, but not like, or like with PDFs, but not that PDFs, just the email of him sending PDFs.
Aw.
So
Excited.
good. Our scene shifts. Do all three of you go to the main tent, or does just Marina go?
Taya would have wanted to like escort Marina there.
Oh. Violet?
I think that would be like so yeah, do you want us she would have asked Marina, do you want us to like go with you or do you want to meet up after for breakfast? What do you want to do?
No, yeah, come with me so that we can see, like, scope out the judges so that you can like sniff out like what they like. You know, you guys are competing too.
Oh, that's a good plan. I
Right?
like the way you think.
Thinking like a judge.
Yeah.
Go
Getting-
corrupt judge.
But I'm not
Violet?
gonna be biased. But I'm not gonna be biased.
Are you sure you can't be bribed?
No. Maybe the other judges, so you guys should see.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta sniff out who seems corruptible.
I can see who can be bribed. No,
Yeah.
no.
Violet has her like small hiking backpack on instead of her like normal giant one. She's like, we're at a thing. I don't need all the things. She still has far too much stuff.
Yeah, you jangle with every step.
Yeah, she's not judging. There's like water bottles on both sides of her pack. Like water is easily accessible. She does not need to have 2 water bottles. There's probably like, 2 first aid kits instead of the 3 she normally travels with.
That's good because Taya is traveling very sparsely.
You guys head towards the main tent here, and there's a registration table with someone with a name tag sitting at it, a half-empty cooler of bottled water. There's a merch table, so seems like sort of a paperwork station, and then a small constructed stage out of like wood pallets that have been sandbagged so they don't go anywhere and are a little heavier, but barely put together, where there seems to be a growing line, maybe in front of the paperwork table here, of fellow older folk just like yourselves. And then at the main registration table, Marina, is where you would know to go to check in as a judge.
Okay. Yeah, head over.
Yeah. As you head over, there is a gangly sort of. It's hard to tell, like, if this is a 30-year-old with a baby face or like a 20-year-old. Who's to say? Uh, Sort of young man there, and he's sort of. I welcome to BIGFOOT Days. I'm Langley. It is nice to meet you all. Are you here? You all checking in? Did you just arrive this morning, or?
I'm here as a judge.
Oh, okay. You're the backup. Got it. They told us that. Like, I'm trying. Someone give me a name, a generic name.
William.
They told us that William was getting his stomach pumped. Yes. We're so glad you're here, and we thank you for your service. And I've got some paperwork for you. And while I start pulling that, how about he sort of points over to Taya and Violet?
Oh, we're her +2s.
Yep.
Yeah, my emotional support people.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you the judge's packet, but goes without saying, your emotional support people cannot look at it. They cannot view it. You two, I'm so glad that you're here. Please enjoy BIGFOOT Days. There are going to be restricted sections that you are not allowed to go into. If you would like to discuss that policy, of course, you can speak with Mr. Brian about it. And then if you would like to sign up for any events, we've got event registration down at that paperwork table over there where Edna is sitting. We're glad you all made it. It's wonderful that you have this group. But compromising your judging materials will compromise you as a judge. So just warning you. When Bernice did that about 4 years ago, she hasn't been invited back since, and I can't say that I miss her.
Very seriously.
Yeah,
Oh.
Violet, don't look. I see you cheating.
No,
How
I am.
dare you? I have the highest of integrity, ma'am, who was looking in the reflection of that, like, what's behind him?
A
Oh,
Bigfoot photo op that's metallic.
yes. Like, I see your eyes.
Hey,
You were not looking.
my eyes were over there.
Water? He just starts to hand you guys water to give you to sort of maybe get you guys to go away. Marina, when you look through that packet eventually, you're gonna see you've got like the judging like guideline form of how you're supposed to judge Bigfoot yells, and then the breakdown of like number of participants and for what age group, so you know how many people as of right now you're going to be hearing, but of course they'll come and update it after today's signups. Langley goes, let's see, it's about 9:30 right now. We're going to start senior citizens here about 10 a.m. or so. So you have about 30 minutes to go get checked in over there. Our other judge, and he sort of points her out, is already back there. So feel free to make acquaintance. That is the judge's panel area is, of course, one of the ones that the two of you are restricted from. Unless for some reason we're calling you in to be a judge, which I can't imagine because we've already got a wonderful volunteer judge right here.
You got the best.
Oh, qualifications?
Yeah.
So many.
Very qualified.
Gotcha. Well, which regionals did you do?
East.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
What she said.
East.
Yeah.
Roll me the day move with presence. What are you afraid of might happen with Langley here?
That he'll just think I'm a fool. Okay, presence 0. That's a nice old 0. Okay. It's a 4.
This is east.
Oh, I'm sorry. East from where I'm from.
She meant southwest. You probably haven't been there, a whole different setup, and directions are really hard.
Sounds like it for you all. Well, we're glad that you're spending the weekend with us. You immediately get the sense he did not buy a single bit of that. And he'll probably be telling people.
Cool. Sick.
But for now, the next group behind you all comes up. Marina, you've got about 30 minutes to report to the judging panel, where there is someone with a lot of chunky jewelry already sort of over there. And Taya and Violet, Bigfoot Days is your oyster. You going to sign up for the contest? Are you going to
absolutely
go meet the local? You're signing up?
Yeah.
I think I'll say goodbye to them, just like give them a big old hug, a bunch of crystals, like shouts like, I hope this doesn't count as like me influencing you guys, or like but here's just like a handful of them for good luck, and give it your all.
People don't know how helpful crystals really are, so I think it'll be fine.
Pockets are sagging.
Yeah.
And I love to bribe a judge. And Taya's gonna like pull out like a little flower from her jacket, hand it to Marina.
She'll take it and be like, like don't. It's like I'm trying to be so honest. And then she'll like put it in like as a little clip in like a pocket.
All right.
Is giving you bird facts the same as bribing?
Oh, give them to me anyway. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but ravens can actually mimic human voices.
No way.
Yeah, they're actually like pretty good at it, and like, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I'm gonna have to go see another YouTube about that.
Yeah. Oh, there's got to be some. They have everything on there.
Yeah. Or like that TikTok thing.
Oh, the Tiki Talk.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to
Would they
that one
call
really.
it dynamite too?
Oh.
From there, the two of you go and join the paperwork line to get signed up for different events. Marina, we see you head towards the judges panel. We're gonna keep with our event signer uppers real quick. There's a couple people in line right now. I think you guys see right in front of you in line, just sort of looking around. He's real tall. This kid, young adult, with a trucker hat that says "Fish don't know I exist" on the front, the long black hair, and a jacket full of pins and patches. And then soon after you get in line, a picking a person, a lady with an Australian style wide brimmed hat with corks dangling from the brim and as many pockets more pockets than you're probably clocking in the moment, comes up with all of the corks sort of swaying back and forth, and she seems to have a lot of tech with her.
Cool. And they got it like in line behind us, right?
They've sandwiched you, so trout hat guy is in front of you, and then the lady with all of the tech is behind you.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll tap the guy's shoulder in front of us and go,
Oh.
"Hey, I like your hat."
Oh, thanks. I made it.
Whoa, really? Like embroidered it yourself?
Yeah,
Wow, that's sick.
thanks.
Hard to do. Did it take a long time?
Oh, I mean, blood, sweat, and tears, but that's what's metal about it, you know?
Okay.
Reclaimed goods are the backbone of an anti-establishment society.
Yeah, man.
Rock on.
Yeah.
I'm Laszlo.
Laszlo. Taya, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He sort of bows at you.
Taya's
Violet,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Are we
starts-
supposed to bow back? Is that like?
Oh,
once we
no,
approach
no.
it or
That's how
something?
my
Okay.
soul is greeting your souls. Don't feel like you
Okay.
have to do it back.
Okay.
Can you tell what my soul is doing to greet your soul?
I've given up reading souls to other people. It tends to unnerve them.
Oh.
Oh,
the
Taya's pretty
mathematical harmony of the world dictates that I let you have your own experience.
Yeah, but I'd like to know what you think.
It's not more important than what you think about yourself.
That's too deep for this conversation. Violet, tell us another crow fact.
Another crow fact. Well, right now, I'm really on a raven kick lately after
Yeah.
I know this is a different cryptid, but I don't know if you've heard of the Brindlewood Bay ghost raven, but I had a recent apparent sighting. So anyway,
Never heard of it.
okay, well, you should really look into it. It's really cool. There are even less sightings. Like, there's not even one that's ever been verified. Unlike Bigfoot, they're like, obviously, there have been a bunch of verified sightings, and just nobody believes it. But ravens actually can remember faces, so be nice to birds. They've been mean to like college kids that threw rocks at them. They remembered who those little punk ass kids were, and they like dive bombed them.
It's a good thing I didn't go to college then.
Yeah, well, just be nice to birds.
Oh, I try to. When we've been out on tour, make sure that we leave our scraps out, so they can be a part of the cycle. Everything that's compostable. But
You're like a singer or something?
oh yeah, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out his phone, cracked all to hell. And this is our band. I understand it and I wish to continue. We're sort of prog rock, progressive metal math. We really like an uneven time signature, a polyrhythm as a way of disrupting and then realigning the covalence of mathematical harmony.
Ew, math.
But like in a spiritual way.
Like you worship numbers or something?
No, we
Oh, it's
use
like a sex thing. Yeah.
no,
Oh,
though
well,
I,
you
I
would know
enjoy
about it if it's
sex,
a
but
sex thing.
no. We're math rockers. We use a lot of math when we rock. Here, listen, and he like plays a demo. If you are a maven who is naturally inclined to find a consistent beat, like you can tell like if something is grooving in the same way. This feels very disjointed as the band I understand and I wish to continue features all sorts of odd meters. The 17/4. They do a 11 eighths, and they jump back and forth between 5/4 and the 12/8 grouping where they do like 4 groups of 3, and then it's unsettling. If you've ever tried to clap along with the Bluey theme and how there's that one extra beat every 4 measures, it's worse than that in terms of just trying to find it.
This music's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for everyone. Not a lot of people understand it, but
Well, keep practicing. You'll get better. Violet is like looking and she like knows she made a misstep and she's like, oh no. I mean, it's really good. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, my arm. You want to ask about my sling? I got shot.
Oh, that's metal.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you guys doing the Bigfoot competition?
Yeah. Are you like an expert at it?
I watched a couple of YouTube videos.
Okay, cool.
He kind of leans in. Honestly, I really need the money. Our tour van broke down, and this was kind of the closest thing to us. And we need to pay for parts.
How much is the prize?
The prize? It's enough. I can't. This is me looking to see if it ever says. I don't think it does.
No worries.
Well, do you think you can use your math music to really, translate that into a good Bigfoot roar?
Well, I think that just understanding the dissection of like the harmonic series when you're using your overtones, like Bigfoot's another natural disruptor of the status quo, just like we do with our progressive math rock. So I'm hoping that those skills will sort of lend themselves together and we can get our transmission fixed.
Yeah,
or we're not going to get to our gig.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go. No. I had nothing to say. I was just agreeing.
I was going to make a dumb comment. It's okay.
I think at that point, the line moves forward enough. He goes, oh, 1 second. And he needs to do his paperwork. So he is exiting the conversation because it is his turn to sign up.
Tan's going to lean over to Violet and go, do you think the lady behind us has, like, the best phone in the world,
Violet, she's trying to be subtle and very obviously swings her head around to look. And she's going to say very quietly to Taya, waving at the woman, I think so.
I'm sorry, if you guys are talking about me, it's totally fine. Do I have your consent to record? Because this will be great, backfiller for my podcast.
What?
You're not going to offend me.
What's a podcast?
It's like a improv audiobook.
What's an audiobook?
It's a book you listen to.
Okay.
I'm Gert, and she sort of like she's holding something, so she sort of stuffs it into her armpit to reach out her hand. She's really conventionally attractive underneath that cork hat. Uh, long black hair, amber skin. Her vest has a ton of pockets. She's got a clip-on like lav mic and like battery packs and things like that. A mobile like audio interface, so that she's recording everything to a specific um, like a she's got like a Zoom recorder there, and she goes, I mean, you can just consent verbally, and that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Just say your name and then say that you consent to being recorded for Follow the Evidence, a podcast by Gert Little.
Taya, I consent to following something, a podcast, that podcast thing. Yeah.
That'll work. That'll hold up.
Violet, I consent to being recorded for your podcast that's not about fishing.
No,
And your name is
although
Gert.
my name is Gert.
Is that right?
Gertrude, but Gert's cuter, I think. No, I mean we haven't done an episode about fishing yet, but though after I get through with this whole Bigfoot Sasquatch like 8-part series or so, I was thinking about doing Nessie next, and that's fishing related. So
Have you ever thought about doing one on the Ghost Raven?
what's that?
You really should. It's Brindlewood Bay lore. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's in Massachusetts. It's a great little town. But there have been stories for years that there is a pure white raven. Some people think it's a ghost, hence the name Ghost Raven. That it's been seen around town, but nobody's gotten like a full, like clear picture of it. As soon as people see it, it like disappears. There's like a blurry photo that people claim like was the photo, but like nobody's ever been able to prove it.
Okay, I'm mental noting it. I'm putting a pin in it. I'm gonna remember it, and after I do Nessie, I'll reach back out, and we'll maybe it'll be a good like little something I can record sort of in one day and then release when I'm in like Spain or something. And
Yeah, I saw it recently. If that helps, right before a local grocery store exploded.
And I got shot.
Yeah, she got
oh no,
shot.
I heard you say that. Actually, real quick, and she grabs 2 more clip-on lav mics and battery packs. If you guys, it'll be so much clearer. Just 1 second, and she'll start trying to put a mic on you if you would allow her to.
Sure.
Cool. She pins a little mic on somewhere.
Taylor wiggles a little bit, but she'll allow it.
Yeah, and you can just sort of rest the battery pack right on your arm, and you're good to go. You don't even have to clip it into a pocket, which your guys' pockets look really full. That's all right. I'll cut that part out. It's none of my business.
It's full of crystals. You want one?
No,
They're, like,
you
really
keep
good.
those.
They're like good crystals. I think it would really help your pod thingy.
Yeah.
No, I took a masterclass course on marketing. I think I know what works for my podcast, but I really appreciate the consideration and the thought. That's so kind of you.
All right, suit yourself. I mean, these crystals are supercharged.
I mean,
They're
yeah,
from Marina.
you can't get better vibes.
Yeah.
Are you guys here for the Bigfoot yelling competition? Are you believers of Bigfoot or are you skeptics?
I mean, of course, Bigfoot is real.
Yeah, sure. Whatever Violet says.
Oh, so you don't have an opinion yourself?
Whatever Violet says.
No, but I mean, I want to know what you earnestly think. Do you think Bigfoot exists?
It's okay. You can say it.
You know, I'm just here to relax and yell, you know.
Gotcha. Little note for Gert later. The one who says that their name is Taya. She just sort of puts her hand over her mouth, says that their name is Taya. Just seems to be really hesitant. Okay, so we've got a full believer and someone who's still making up their mind. That's awesome. I'd love to check in with you at the
I mean,
end and
I didn't
see
say that. I didn't say I didn't
how you.
believe, but I also said I also didn't say that I didn't believe or do believe.
Taya can neither confirm nor deny if Taya believes in the existence or non-existence of Bigfoot at this time.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
like
see how you
scroll
feel by the
fingers,
end of it. Now,
Bigfoot.
for my believer, what this whole podcast, we're follow the evidence, and we really try to track down and confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that things are what people say they are, or they're totally not. So, since you're a believer, like what evidence do you have, or that you fully believe in that makes Bigfoot a real possibility for you?
I just like there's so much space out there and like land and all this wild land and like I don't know, I just feel like if I was, like an 8 foot tall, being covered in hair, I would probably hide away from people too. So it really I believe in Bigfoot because it just seems relatable.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're in the like if we can't prove it doesn't exist, then like why wouldn't it exist sort of category.
And there's
Um,
like a lot of pictures and stuff out there. Like other people can explain. My more cryptid niche is the Brindlewood Bay ghost raven, like I said. So that's a
yes,
little
you
bit more
told
my
me
area.
about that, and
I feel like
I pinned it in my
Yeah,
head.
and we can talk more about it. It's very cool.
And
I
you hear
bet
like a
Bigfoot and the Ghost Raven are best friends.
That would be so cool. Oh my god, if we see the ghost raven here and not in Brindlewood Bay, I am probably gonna scream and cry.
Mm.
But
there's
that would be
a
a good way to win the
big
competition.
throat clearing from behind Gert, as an over 7 foot man covered in lots of body hair. He's got a big old head full of black hair, a beard, sort of goes, the line open. Laszlo has left. It is your guys' turn to sign up.
Uh Violet just like wide-eyed looks at Taya and looks back at the guy and then like looks at Taya and then just says, "Thanks."
Taya like stands her ground in front of Violet. Tries to look bigger than she is, but she's very small.
Oh, 1 second, sir. You guys can feel free to keep those mics, just keep it recording. Or actually, they are some of them. I don't know if I gave you the rented ones. I'm just gonna take them back, and
Okay.
I'll come check up with you later, and we can talk about how you're
Are you
feeling.
sure? I keep mine because then maybe I could record stuff for you.
Do you want to sign a liability waiver to pay me if you damage it?
No.
Then
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
Taya's
Thank
good for
you.
it.
She takes all of her stuff back, and immediately turns around and like, all right, and who are you? And starts trying to chat up this guy. It's time for you guys to sign up for the Bigfoot yell competition.
Yeah. Let's get signed up.
Yeah.
Perfect. You guys put your names down in your age categories.
Yep.
It's just like a book full of not a book. It's a binder of papers that are in like plastic covers that you pull out and sign up for what you want to do. So there's the Bigfoot yell competition. There is an eating contest, and then there are several like group hikes.
Oh, Taya's gonna sign up for the eating contest for sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Violet's definitely gonna sign up for a group hike at some point.
Yeah, you find one that fits your schedule.
And then
Kids are
also
good
the
to
yell,
go.
I guess. But Taya's gonna like put herself in the just normal adult category. Violet,
That's
you want
wild
M&Ms?
because it's at least like there are age brackets.
Yeah. And
There's
Taya does not want to be held back.
a tiny tots, a like 10 through a middle school one, a high school one, a college one, and then like 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 60, and then 60 plus.
Taya puts herself in the 30 to 40 range.
I'm trying to figure out how Violet can move Taya's name to the tiny dots without her knowing.
You can sign after Taya.
Yeah, I think Violet's gonna sign up in her actual age category, but then just to see what happens, she's gonna also write Taya's name in the tiny dots. But she's gonna write
Wonderful.
it like with different inflection, so at a glance it seems like a different person if somebody like
You guys are
glances
so
at
lucky this table is unattended. You do what you want, and then our scene's gonna move here. Marina, you are heading over. We're gonna run this, and then we'll get right to the Bigfoot yell right after. I'm heading over to meet your fellow judge. There is a woman, all sorts of chunky jewelry, big necklace, big earrings, big headband, big sweater, everything big, which makes her like frame even more dwarfed in comparison. Um, and as you approach, oh, you must be our other judge.
Yes, that's me. Hello, I'm Marina.
Oh, M&M, I'm Marge. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh my god, we're gonna get along great.
I can feel it. We got some M&M and M for magic. We got that going for us as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for filling in for William.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he bit of a drinker, that guy.
Yeah, I heard he's getting his stomach pumped.
Yeah, well, he drank about half the lake, so I would imagine so.
Oh god.
Well, this is your first time. I'm going to show you the ropes. I've been doing this for a few years now, and you're going to be a pro by the end of it, okay, hon?
Perfect.
Incredible. So this is the main tent, and she starts going into like explaining things. And here in your binder where you're going to see all the contestants, it's really important that you don't let how cute the little tots are take you away from scoring them fairly, because they'll cry and they'll their parents will get mad at you, and it just ain't worth it, darling. It just ain't.
I'll have to be so strong.
You're gonna have to be, yeah. And that was William's thing. He really like people could get kind of sweet on him, and he kind of sweet on people. But you and I, we're gonna stay strong. This is gonna be a clear and fair Bigfoot yell competition, and we're gonna get the best one out of it.
Sounds like a plan. You know, that's what I came here to do. Fair and just hear what judging with my heart.
Well, wonderful. And your ears. Don't
And
forget them. Incredible. Okay. So first up, we got old folks. And they give it their best. And she sort of leads you over to the table that just has your two chairs in it. There are a couple of benches where people can sit, and many people sort of gathered to watch. This is really the only stage. You get a badge that just says judge, and your clipboard, your binder, your paperwork binder. And then eventually Edna comes over and like, all right, we've got a couple additions. If I could see your binders real quick. And she starts writing in like a new numbers of participants, so you know how many people that you're judging. And while this is going on, Marge, so how do you know Brian?
Oh, he's actually an old friend of my.
You don't say.
Friend. Yeah.
Isn't he?
Oh, you're suddenly on mute.
Oh, isn't he just the most organized man?
Oh, he seems to have everything together.
This thing is like his pride and joy. So I know he cares a lot, and he was telling me that he was excited to have you here. So I'm excited to have you here.
I'm excited
it's gonna be great
here, and I can't believe I've never come to this before. It seems like such a passion for Brian.
Yeah, he really. So I've only been doing this for a few years, and He's been doing it for a whole lot longer, but he only recently kind of became like the top guy in this sort of place. So I know that he's eager to make sure it's all going off without a hitch.
Yeah. Who was around before him?
Oh, what's his name? What's his face? It doesn't matter. I can't remember.
Yeah. No, I mean this seems like such a rad kind of place. I mean, tell me about the ones to look out for in this competition. The ones
Oh,
that
yeah.
my eye.
Well, I don't want to sway you any which way. I mean, you at the end of the day, your binder and your scores are your own, hun. But I mean, there are a couple of people who are really contenders. Of course, last year's winner, Champlin Bellows. You wouldn't think out of a skinny little guy like that he can make that big of a yell, but you'd be surprised.
Oh, I've
He,
seen him on all the videos. He is
yeah,
amazing.
it's sort of like freak nerd makes big yell. I saw that one.
That's the one I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he looks like, he would be trying to give you a sermon or maybe knocking at your door asking if you read the book.
He
But
does.
no,
He does give that impression.
he's got a pair of lungs on him. I bet the opera is just so sad they couldn't get him to hold a pitch. Well, he can't compete this year. The year you win, you can't compete the next year, so we have no repeat. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance, and especially if someone's really good, like Champlin Bellows, you sort of celebrate them the next year. So he's got his own trailer. He's going to be celebrated. He's going to get to lead a tour, and I'm just so happy for him.
I love that, and you're right. That keeps everything so fair.
Yeah, and then of course, if he wants, he can come back next year, and he can, hork to his contend and make noises, and I'm sure he'll be highly ranked. We do sort of a first place, and then a second place, and then a third place, and then some honorable mentions.
Okay. I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to hear him.
I'm sure tonight at the ceremony when we crown people, we'll have him give a demonstration. We did that with because they pass off sort of the the oh the thing that they give people who win things. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Yeah, the trophy. They'll pass off that and they'll do the big hoopla about the prize money and all of that sort of stuff.
that's exciting.
Yeah, we had a couple repeat faces. Of course, is Joe. Have you met Joe?
I don't
You
think
seen any sort of angry looking guy around here? Sort of bah humbug, always frowning. He
I
always
don't.
wears a hat because
Oh,
he's so bald that it's gonna be a second moon if we see his head. But don't tell him I said that, of course.
let's just see him.
Oh yeah, well you'll see him. He's gonna be in this first division over here. He is nicer than he seems. You give him a cup of coffee, maybe a beer or two, and he'll warm right up.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course, of course. And then we get just a whole host of people from, that little people who ride their bikes and they all wear matching outfits, but it's not like a clown thing, it's like a club thing.
Oh yeah, I think we saw them on our way in.
Yeah, every once in a while, I mean, every couple of years they come back through. It just so happens that they're coming through and we're hosting Bigfoot Days. You ever hear my first year? Oh, they did a group number that make the hair on the back of your head raise up. It was almost spiritual.
That's beautiful. I hope I get to see that.
And at that point, like the microphone at the front of this makeshift stage pops as Brian Wukalar steps up. All right, and welcome to Bigfoot Days. If you're still sleeping, you probably aren't now because we are blasting this thing and it like feeds back. We're kicking off the Bigfoot Yell competition here with senior citizens first because we know you all were already up and at 'em. So we're going to get our line going. If you sign up for the senior citizen section, I'm going to call out the names right now. Don't worry, I won't say your ages. And he starts to list off people. Where did Violet sign up?
She signed up. If I think senior would be her age category. Is that what you're asking? She
Yeah.
signed up where she was supposed to sign
Okay.
up. So
Your name gets called, and then a couple more, and then there's like a pause, and then Langley runs up to Brian, and Brian, they like talk off mic for a second. And got a bit of a jokester here, maybe short in stature, but Taylor De La Rosa, you're on this list too.
Violet's gonna elbow Taya and be like, "They must have caught me. I signed you up for the tiny tots."
Violet, why would you do that? I almost got away with being in the middle.
Because can you imagine you, like, you're short compared to us, but like all these little kids, and then you and you're just yelling? It
And
been
I would
so
have
funny.
crushed them. I would have crushed those kids.
Exactly. And the children would have learned a valuable lesson about cheating the system.
You know, I think they don't even know my age. I could be 30.
Do a backflip. No, don't do one. No. She like looks at her arm and she's like, no, don't do that. Marina would kill me. I don't need to die today. I have too many crystals for that.
People start lining up. You line up in order. So Violet, couple people, and then I think in between you guys is a guy with a permanent scowl and a hat on his head. And then let's see, maybe just that person, and then Taya. So there's just one person in between you. And one by one, contestants go up to this mic, which Brian makes a big show of unplugging because it would burst people's eardrums if they mic'd it. And they go up to the dead mic that's not actually projecting, so they have something to yell into if they would like. Though you see most contestants, everyone who seems seasoned enough actually steps to the side so they have more room for body movement. To really get their most primal yell going. You hear soft cries, you hear large ones, bellows, and all sorts of things as you go up. And I would invite each of you, I will narrate in between for Joe, if you would like to give your best Bigfoot cry for the competition. So Violet, the person in front of you goes, and they start coughing in the middle of theirs and eventually have to walk off stage. And then as it goes, I mean, when they step off the couple like boxes, pallet wood here, it's your turn to step on.
All right. I'm not going to yell because I think that would go poorly. So I think I'm going to more describe how this is going to sound.
We'll have you describe and then we'll sort of yell. Well, not yell, we'll roll for how effective it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think she's going to make it a little bit distinct. So she's with her whole chest, like she's gonna take that deep breath in and project, like, and I think she's gonna like her arms like to really like, you know, get the sound out. She's gonna like, you know, move those arms too and like and she's gonna like scream from like deep in her chest, and I think it turns just to stand out. You gotta stand out, you gotta try things. I think there's gonna be almost like a Tarzan almost yodel a little bit in there as she goes. And she goes the whole breath and like okay.
Marina claps just like it's like that was amazing.
Now we're gonna roll. It's gonna be with presence. I don't necessarily need to know what you fear. There's not a ton of risk besides like not winning. So I think in your question to answer with this before you roll it is how do you feel making this roar?
Honestly, I think it's kind of satisfying for her. Like, you're normally not allowed to yell in front of people, and she's like able to just scream her little heart out after everything that's happened lately. You can't eat the dice. And she just channels her inner bearded puppy and is just feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, take that real world inspiration and roll those die.
Yeah, all right. You gotta help me out here, kid. Okay? If I do badly, I'm blaming you. Artemis. Ugh. It's a 7. Could
Okay.
have been worse.
I think after like Marina's clap echoes out, and Marge gives like a polite one as she's done after each person, and then studiously with her binder up writing notes. You get this sort of sense that the yodel like fell flat and isn't accurate, and some people in the crowd didn't appreciate it. Though Laszlo is nodding his head very solemnly.
All right. She's like, well, I got points with the people who mattered. You know, you gotta take a
Taya's
risk.
like whooping from like the back of the line, like, whoa!
She
Um,
smiles back and she's like, you gotta save your voice.
No, this is for you.
I'm gonna
People-
yell louder for you.
You get the sort of nudge from the like main person in the crowd here, like time to get off the stage so the next person can
Yeah.
come up. It's very unprecedented to be talking back and forth on this line, but you wouldn't know that necessarily.
She does like a fist bump or like a fist in the air as she walks off.
Like the Breakfast Club.
Yes. Yes.
Captain Joe Woods walks up next, and he's very still. He walks up, he sort of gets his feet, shoulder width apart, and then and it starts off so low first, and then as he puts more breath into it, comes into this, like, you could tell this guy sings bass by the way the sound that he is making, just sonorous and craggly, like he's about to start throat singing. And then as he continues to push breath through it, he just starts looking up, and then by the time his breath is done, he'll just sort of bow and not say, immediately walk off stage. And then it's Taya's turn.
Cool. Taya's gonna do a little golf clap and then walk up, and then look straight at Marina and like mouth like, "This is for you," and then
Marge cocks an eyebrow immediately.
She'll like grab her little flower and then just notice Marge was like,
and then she'll wink and then turn around and like stuff her hands in her jacket pocket and like saunter towards the back of the stage, and then turn back around, take a deep breath, and then run forward, do a front flip. And then as she's coming back up, she'll like start the yell, and it's just as loud as she could possibly go.
Cool. It was going to be with presence. Now it's with vitality.
Sick.
But you do not have an arm,
Yeah.
one of your arms. So I think shot the F up means you have to roll this with disadvantage.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Colt Sievers.
Can I use it for that?
If you use it now, you can't use it the rest of the mystery.
You know, F it. Let's use it.
All right, everyone at home, remember this moment when I make Angeli regret it. Yeah, you use the Colt Sievers move. So you don't land on your face.
Good, cool, yeah.
Cool. Because you use Colt Sievers, I would like you to roll your presence roll now with advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. Ooh. All right, 10.
All right, it's successful. You let out a great roar.
Marina cries, like very soft, but just like seeing the flip and seeing it happen, and then just like a victorious like roar that was good, just like scribbles like in her notes. If it tries to keep it cool because of the other judge, for Marge.
Violet
Marge.
like stayed by the side of the stage just waiting for Taya, and is just like screaming and clapping and just like, yeah. And she'll probably give Taya a hug when she comes off the stage.
Yeah, Taya's gonna like leap off the stage and jump on Violet.
Violet's gonna like catch her and like stumble back and be like, "That was amazing!
You did amazing!
Ah!"
That whole scene happens exactly as you guys describe it. And I think after this, in our episode, we just get a montage of, like we cut to some kids doing their best little screams, and then we see like Taya and Violet at the food truck. We see some preteens, Pimply and Acne, give some screams. We see Marina and Marge like chatting back and forth. We see some high schoolers. We see Brian leaning over at the judge's desk and talking with Marina, sharing memories. We see those college students sort of go through here after lunch. And we see Taya and Violet. Maybe you guys have caught back up with Gert and are continuing to espouse Brindlewood Bay, Ghost Raven stuff, and you've cornered her in her podcast. Eventually, a break for judging after lunch occurs before they get into the adult age groups. And Marina, you are released to lunch, and Marge is as well. She goes, "All right, honey, we're going to see you back here at 2 p.m. We're going to get started with the adults, and don't let anyone swindle you during lunch, all right? And be focused."
No one can me. I'm focused. I'm here. My head is in the game.
In the game. All right, magic from Marina and Marge. And Brian comes over. He takes your guys' binders so like no one can mess with the voting while you guys are on break, and she splits off from you to go eat her own food that she brought. And the three of you get a chance to reconvene, but maybe a minute into this reconvening, the mic abruptly feedbacks and comes back on. When this happens, where are you all? Are you guys near your cabin or your camper? Are you guys near like the lunch pavilion? Or are you down near the lake?
I think maybe lunch pavilion, since like Marina would want to like grab a snack or something to eat before continuing the judging duties.
Yeah, and there's all groups. I mean, there's everyone you saw earlier is here, sort of mingling through. I mean, they're somewhere at BIGFOOT Days. There's kids that you judged earlier, and families, and a couple people doing like full. They've got like regular people clothes and then just like a Bigfoot mask, or I Heart Bigfoot signs and bandanas and hats. People are selling like big feet, car air fresheners, all sorts of things. As you guys are at the food truck, you can partake in your choice of turkey legs covered in buffalo sauce, Yeti's breath. Sorry, that's Bigfoot's favorite, by the way, wings, which are just turkey legs covered in buffalo sauce because he would need that big of a wing. Yeti's breath, mint chocolate flavored trails mix, and abominable snow cones in Galoot punch. All sorts of themed food. And maybe you guys have just gotten your order and have sat down when this mic feedbacks and cuts back in. A panicked voice that the three of you recognize, but Marina especially so, because it is Brian Wukalar's voice coming over. He goes, A Sasquatch took Champlin Bellows.
Oh, is this a bit that they do? And just like looks around to see if people are like, it's happening. Like,
that's not the response you see. Some general like confusion, some fear as Brian continues. His trailer's been trashed. And Champlin Bellows' trailer is probably the closest to all of the things because he's like the celebrity, right, of the event. Right before the wood starts. So everyone's on one side, and then it's the stage. Then Champlin Bellows' trailer sort of on the other in his own private area, but still closer than most people. And his whole RV, the door is ripped off its hinges and on the ground as Brian sort of points it out as he's talking in the mic.
oh my god! No, Champlin was last year's winner. What?
Huh. Who would want to take him?
We said Sasquatch, but I mean, Actually?
Was his yell that good that Sasquatches were mad at him, so they stole him so he couldn't do it again?
Oh, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. We all heard it. It was very good. Maybe it's some kind of mating call and
Oh my god. So you think it was a lady Sasquatch?
I don't
Could
know.
be a man Sasquatch.
It
What do you
could,
think
that's
about that?
true. Yeah, you know what?
We
That's a
don't
good
want
point.
to.
Yeah.
As murmurs just like yours erupt out of every pod of people here. Place is in a little bit of disarray. No one quite knows what to do. Is this for real? Can we find Champlain Bellows? Is the true believers, of course, are true believing. Gert is like fanatic about starting to go and get content immediately as conversations erupt everywhere. Brian over, all right, okay, we're gonna remain calm, and myself, Captain Joe, you've done search and rescue, Edna, Langley, and we'll call state and we'll see what we can do. Enjoy your food. If you've seen anything, say something. Don't go in the woods alone. And he clicks the mic.
I think I want to go talk to Brian to see what he saw, what people had seen, like why this could have happened.
What if you go talk to Brian, I wonder, like, is now too early to like go look at the trailer? Cause I'm curious. What makes them think it was Sasquatch? Other than we're here and they would think it was Sasquatch.
I mean, yeah, you guys could look in the trailer, and I could ask Brian what makes them think it was Sasquatch, so we could see to that too.
All right. Stay safe, okay?
Yeah, you guys too.
Yeah.
Don't get taken by Sasquatch.
I mean, we've got all these crystals. I don't think you would do that.
Oh my god, I didn't give you the anti-Sasquatch crystal. And then just like another hand.
You're prepared for everything.
I completely forgot about those. Those are new.
Ooh, you were prepared.
I gotta stitch another pocket in my jacket.
Oh, we could do that at Arts and Crafts. I'm sure they've got supplies.
Oh, you guys have to wait for me for those.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. But
As
later.
the three of you sort of head out down the hill to the stage area once more, we start to see the split, and many other people starting to head towards this scene. Champlain Bellows' trashed RV trailer. And I think from there, our camera sort of pans backwards, and we see the woods grow and how small the three of you really become out here in Whitechapel, New York at BIGFOOT Days. And as afternoon sets in and general paranoia, that is where we will end tonight.
Bigfoot yell.
Don't forget to be your local cryptid.
Don't forget to be your local cryptid. Yeah, some fun stuff. Well, for those of you who are watching this, thank you for watching. For those of you who are playing, thank you for playing. And as it is below and is below with you.
Yeah.
That's the best we've done.
Yeah.
That was really well together.
Yeah.